What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your warden, Dimitri Strine, and today we are going to be fixing LF Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the headlining boy for the 3-year anniversary. I'm on DBZ Space right now and not on normal Legends because I don't actually have Gogeta. I did not summon at all for Gogeta. I did step 1 on his banner and then never touched it again. So we're going to be on DBZ Space for today. We're going to be looking at Gogeta at just 2 stars. Honestly, I'm not going to do much with his stats anyway. That's why we're looking at him at 2 stars, because the only thing I'm going to point out with his stats is no Legends Limited unit, no matter what their typing is, melee, ranged, defense, or support. I personally don't feel like any Legends Limited unit should have under 200k on offensive stats. That's just me. But yeah, raise his offenses slightly, not by much, maybe about 5, 6, 7,000. But if you do not know what the Fixed series is, as it has been a long time since I've done it, it's basically a balance update series where I take units that could use a little bit of a push, that don't need full Zenkais to become relevant and become good, but do still need some work, and I give them the good old-fashioned, the old style of balance update where I just take their existing kits, tweak it up a little bit, and add 1 or 2 things if I have to, or tweak it up a bit and remove 1 or 2 things if I have to, as the balance update series is not only for buffing characters, but also for nerfing characters. I have done a balance update where I nerfed Zenkai LF Gohan, and where I have buffed Gogeta Blue. So if you want to check out the past fixed videos that I uploaded, they will be linked in the description below. But let's just go ahead and get started with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, again, in terms of his stats, like, I don't really care. I just feel like a Legends Limited unit should have over 200k on the offenses. So raise the strike attack to maybe 207 and raise the blast attack to 203, 204. There. That's pretty much it. And with the defenses, maybe, I guess, since, you know, that's supposed to be his main gimmick, you could raise that by another like 2,000 or 3,000 as well, but you don't even really have to, honestly. Getting into the actual meat of the video, that being the abilities, we're going to take a look at the main ability first, so let's just go over what it does real quick. Draw the Ultimate Arts card times 100 Big Bang Kamehameha next, restores own health by 30% and ki by 50, nullifies own unfavorable element factor for 20 counts, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 20 counts. The only thing I'm going to change about this is taking the element factor nullification to 30 counts and making the card draw speed also 30 counts. I would just add 10 counts to those 2 things, and that'd be it, really. Like, there's nothing, it's a good main ability. I have nothing to say about it. Just take the 20 count things to 30, and we're good. Up next, we got the first unique ability, the Pinnacle of Power. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 60% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Fine, go ahead, keep that. Reduces next damage sustained by 50% cannot be cancelled. This applies until enemy combo is finished. This is the first major change that I'm going to be making to Gogeta. Now, he is a defense type. Alright? Right here, defense type. So that is the type of gameplay I'm going to be focusing on. I'm going to really zero in on making him a defensive unit. I'm not going to give him a million damage buffs. I'm going to make him defensive, as he is a defense type. So instead of making this 50% reduced damage buff go away once he gets hit one time, I would actually make that just a baseline thing that he has, just a cannot be canceled buff throughout the entire match. When the battle starts, he gets 50% reduced damage, cannot be canceled, just flat out. No matter how many times he's hit, that's what he gets, just there. That's what you got. That's what you're working with. All the damage he takes now halved for the rest of the match. And then the nullify abnormal conditions cannot be canceled. Absolutely fine. But yeah, that's the first major change. Instead of that 50% going away, it stays forever. Now, for the second part of this ability, applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restore ki by 30, absolutely fine. 50% damage inflicted cannot be stacked, whatever. That's what, 110% damage inflicted for what purpose? Reduced damage received by 30% cannot be stacked. Now here is where we're going to have to balance him a little bit. Obviously, I cannot have Gogeta running around just with a permanent 80% reduced damage buff. That's ridiculous. So what I am going to do is give that to him on his cover change. So when you cover change with Gogeta, you will get the extra 30%, making it a total of 80% reduced damage. This will actually make it so that Gogeta, especially at higher stars, could honestly survive most rising rushes, and it'll make him just super tanky. You're going to have to drop combo. Like, regardless, even if you're not worried about the cover change, which we'll get to, you still have to drop combo. Otherwise, you're just not going to do anything. You're just not going to do shit. And again, I want this Gogeta to have some longevity. And the best way to give him longevity is to make him what he should have been. The anniversary headliner. What I mean by that is, he needs to be the unit that you think of when you think of the anniversary. What do you think of when you think of the 2-year anniversary? Vegito Blue and his dominance over the game. That is what I want you to think of when you think of the 3-year anniversary. I want you to think of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the impact he had on the game. That is the point of this. So, 80% on cover cut. However, if he is not cover changing, if he just enters the battle normally, he will not get that 30%. It stays at 50. Nullify attribute downgrades or 15 timer counts, activates twice. Sure, fine, whatever, I don't really care. Nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 15 timer counts, activates 3 times. For anyone who does not know what that means, it means Gogeta will take type neutral damage, however, he will not do type neutral damage. So honestly, I'm perfectly okay with this. Again, it makes him even more defensive, especially when changing cover now, and yeah, I mean, 3 times, that seems reasonable to me. Yeah, I don't want to make him stupid, right? I don't want to make him unbeatable, right? So 3 times, we'll just keep that as it is. Moving on to the second ability. First, we have the cover change. There is going to be a few changes to the cover change itself. Well, one major change, actually. I don't like the strike and blast cover changes. I think they're the worst kinds of cover changes, simply because you can only use them twice. And usually, when you are facing a unit with a cover change, you have to play around that cover change. However, the best way to play around these types of cover changes is to not play around it. It's to just have them do it so that you don't have to worry about it later. So, because he's once again the anniversary headliner, that's the thing I'm gonna need you guys to keep in mind. The reason I'm making him as good as I am is because he headlined the anniversary, and the anniversary headliner should be the best unit that gets released throughout the entire year. There can be units that are close to it, but at least in my opinion, whatever headlines the anniversary should be the best thing released in that entire year. Not by a stupid margin, not like Vegito Blue was, but kind of like how Super Vegito was. Super Vegito was easily the best unit in the game when he came out, but it wasn't by such a stupid margin like, you know, Vegito Blue was, or Zenkai LF Gohan currently is, right? I want that kind of separation. He's clearly the best, but he's not, you know, super oppressive. And because of that, I'm going to make his cover change infinite. He can keep both the strike and the blast cover changes, and he can do them as many times as he wants. Now, what would be the point in letting him keep the 30% reduced damage on cover cut if he can cover change against half the cards in the game? Well, that's just the thing. He cover changes against half the cards. If you get hit with a knockback green card, say like GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku's, and he draws a whole nother hand of cards, I mean, you're kind of screwed then. You're taking this combo. So it does definitely work, and there are a handful of units in the game that nullify special cover change outright. I'm not going to give him the ability to nullify special cover change. That's just, we're running in circles at that goddamn point. Just no. So there's still going to be units that can nullify his cover change. There's still going to be certain cards you can use to get around his cover change. So that's why he gets to keep the 30%, especially if someone just fucking rushes you expecting you to switch. Yeah, you're going to want that 80%, trust me. So just make his cover change infinite use and we're good here. And then the final part of his abilities is while this character is on the battlefield, applies the following effects itself when causing a character with a revives when health reaches 0 effect to revive. Restores health by 20%, increases Dragon Balls by 2. I would just have him have that anytime he defeats an enemy. Reviving technically counts as defeating. So, I mean, maybe don't give him the fucking Dragon Balls. Well, actually, maybe you do because, right, I'm not giving him any more damage. He's not going to be doing any more damage than he currently is. Maybe a little bit because of his slightly higher stats. But it's still going to be a struggle to actually kill anything with Gogeta. So, honestly, yeah, just give all of that to him whenever he defeats an enemy. That way, even if he takes out a revival character, he can still get that buff twice. I don't know. It's just how I think about it. Just why tie it to just reviving? Why not just anytime someone's health reaches 0? Why not? That way, actually, just anytime anyone's health reaches 0. That way it works for normal units, reviving units. Does it work for endurance units? Technically, they get their health back once it reaches 1. Technically, an endurance unit never actually hits 0 HP. They get back at 1. So I guess it wouldn't work against endurance. So I guess endurance is just what you use the damn ult on, right? Since it just nullifies endurance. That way, you can still get the buff against an endurance unit. But yeah, that's pretty much how they just... Anytime an enemy character reaches 0 HP. There you go. And in terms of what I would add to his kit, I don't think I have to add that much. I think the changes I made are very good. The only thing that I would really add to it is give him the ability to heal whenever he enters or leaves the battlefield. I don't much care which one, but just anytime he enters or leaves, just one of the two, not both, he gets like 10% of his health back or something along those lines. Again, the whole point is to try and make him super defensive. So that's what I want to do here. And besides, if we're being honest with ourselves, he came out and it's like on the GT team, he was competing with Super 17, who's a defensive unit. He already had big shoes to fill. And then when it comes to like the Fusion team actually desperately needs a major tank. Purple Vegito exists, but I'm talking like some absolutely stupid tanking monster that could just, really propel the team up, because the only things that fusions don't have are a mega tank and a support. Purple Vegito technically takes care of both of those things, but I'm just gonna make Gogeta better at it than him, because it irks the hell out of me how the Purple Vegito is actually more viable in the meta than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So it's essentially the same shit, but you're still gonna run Purple Vegito because he's got the support. Gogeta ain't got no support. I'm not giving him any damn support. Well, that's not entirely true. There is one support thing that I would give him, and that's just the ability to reduce everyone's damage received by about 20%, as long as he's alive. 20% is not a lot, but with a lot of characters already having their own, 20 to 30% reduced damage buffs, him giving that could actually be really stupid. Now, that's the one ability that I'd be like, maybe don't give him that. Because if he's giving everyone the ability to tank more, especially on a GT team, that'd be stupid. I really don't want to deal with that. However, if you really wanted to crack the hell out of Gogeta and make him the best defense type the game has ever seen, You can give him that support. I personally wouldn't, but it's an option. You guys can decide whether or not you would actually want that. But that is basically how I would fix Gogeta. So let's go ahead and review and go down everything. Let's go down his entire kit my way and see how we like it. So in terms of his stats, same amount of health. We go up to 207,000 strike attack, 203 to 4,000 blast attack, 38 to 39,000 strike defense, 139 to 140,000 blast defense. And then the main ability would be draw the ultimate arts card times 100, Big Bang Kamehameha next, restores own health by 30% and ki by 50, nullify own unfavorable element factor for 30 counts, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 30 counts. Applies the following effects to self when the battle starts. 60% the damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Reduce damage received by 50% cannot be cancelled. Nullifies abnormal conditions cannot be cancelled. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restores ki by 30. 50% the damage inflicted, reduce damage received by 30% when changing cover, nullify attribute downgrades for 15 timer counts, activates 3 times, nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained for 15 timer counts. When this character performs a cover change, he does the thing. I don't feel like reading all that nonsense. He does the animation when he cover changes on a strike or blast card an infinite amount of times and not just twice. And then finally, when this character enters the battlefield, or while this character is on the battlefield, anytime he causes a unit to drop to 0 HP, he gets 20% of his health, 2 Dragon Balls. And then finally, you can add restores health by 10% every time this character enters or leaves the battlefield. In terms of his arts cards, I don't think I need to change literally anything about them. I think his arts cards are designed very well. I don't see any reason to change anything about them. So we are pretty much done here. Let me know what you guys think of my updated version of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I did, again, make him very defensive. He is a defense type. I want to actually go in line with what he was. I was not going to change him entirely just because, people like damage. No, his teams needed a tank. GT had a tank and he needed to have a reason to be run over that tank. So here you go. Here's a bunch of broken BS. I do want to stress the point home that the only reason why he's so stupid is because he headlined the anniversary. And as I said, I feel like the anniversary headliner should be the best unit in the game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, do make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that join button if you can, it really does help the channel out. All the links you could ever want are in the description down below. Let me know who you want me to fix next, who or what you want me to fix next, and I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace.